Because previously in the former Muslim Ummah, there was no sahri, no eating or drinking after you said your night prayer. For example, after Isha, no eating, nothing of the sort, till the next Maghrib, when night starts again. So the fast covered the night as well as the day. Only for a little time between Maghrib and Isha you could eat and drink and nothing else. Here, this now fasting has been reduced to only the daytime, from the dawn to the sunset. Then there was no sexual intercourse also permitted during the fasting, because the night was also included in the fast, so there could be no sexual intercourse between the husband and the wife. So these things were there as practices among the Jews. And the Muslims of Medina, they were seeing that the form in the Jews has these additional limitations. So they thought that they are included in Islamic laws also, although there was no mention of it before in the Quran, either to the contrary or confirming those regulations. But some people thought that it is not lawful, it is not permissible to have sexual intercourse with their wives. But still, they were doing it. So in a way, they were betraying themselves. They were doing khiyanah with their own selves. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned it first in this ayah, and then given the final rules that this is the difference between the form of Islam and the form of the Jews of the previous ummah. It has been declared lawful for you to have sexual contact with your wife during the night of the fasting. The fasting is for the day, not for the night. They are like a covering, because just as the dress, they are like dress to you, and you are like dress to them. This dress covers our body. So actually the intimacy between the dress and the body, so that has been referred to by this simile. They are like dress to you, and you are like the dress to them. So this close affinity and proximity. It's in the knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you were committing khiyanah with yourself. You were betraying yourself. You thought that this sexual intercourse is contrary to this form, and still you were doing it. Only a few might have been doing it, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned it, because with reference to that, He is now giving the final rules about this form in Islam. Fataba alaykum. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted your tawbah. He has relented towards you. He is lenient towards you. Fa'asankum, and He has forgiven you. You have done a mistake, committed a mistake. You shouldn't have done this. Although you didn't know it for sure that it is haram. But you thought that it is haram, and still you were doing it. So actually you are betraying yourself. You are doing khiyanah, dishonesty with your own self. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has relented towards you, and He has accepted your tawbah, and He has forgiven you. فَالْآنَ بَاشِرُوهُنَّ. Now you can have contact with them. وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. And try to get what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for you. Now this sexual intercourse, the result is offspring, the result is tafkeen, لِتَسْكَنُوا إِلَيْهَا. Everything that is contained in it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not gone into details. But whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained for you, in this context between the spouses, you can get it, you can have it. فَالْآنَ بَاشَرُوهُنَّ وَابْتَغُوا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ مِنَ الْفَجْرِ. And you can keep on eating and drinking till the white thread of the morning of the dawn becomes evident to you from the black thread of the night. This is again an expression for the dawn, when that whiteness appeared on the horizon. It's like a thread separating the horizon. When white thread of the dawn becomes evident to you from the black thread of the night. ثُمَّ أَتِمُّ الصِّيَامَ إِلَى اللَّيْلِ. Now when dawn has appeared, stop eating, stop drinking. Now till the sunsetting, till the coming of the night, you have to complete this form. Now all the restrictions are there. No eating, no drinking, no sexual contact, nothing of the sort. All things prohibited. وَلَا تُبَاشِرُوهُنَّ وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. An additional limitation. And that is when you are mu'takif. What is i'tikaf? To confine yourself to the limits of a masjid, an area, but not the whole of masjid, where really prayers are held. Because there are additional things, amenities, they are not included in the definition of masjid. Masjid is only the place where people really bow and prostrate and where they offer their prayers. So you restrict yourself, cut off from the other worldly, your routine activities, and now you are absolutely with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, remembering Him, praying Him, reading Quran, doing whatever He has commanded to do. So all these things you can do. But you can't go out of this limits of the mosque, except when there is real need. If you have to respond to the call of the nature, you can go to the washroom, that's all. But otherwise, you cannot go out. So when you are mu'takif in the masajid, وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ, then you cannot have any sexual contact with your wife, even during the nights of this form. These are for the 10 days, you know, the masnoon i'tikaf, the last 10 days, after the night of the 21st begin. This is the beginning of i'tikaf, masnoon i'tikaf. Nafil i'tikaf, voluntary i'tikaf can be for smaller periods, can be at any time, during any month, any day. But this masnoon i'tikaf, which was the practice of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it is last 10 days of every month of Ramadan. وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ تِلْكَ حُدُودُ اللَّهِ. These are the limitations laid down by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَلَا تَقْرَبُوهَا. Very beautiful. Don't go near them. At certain places in Quran there is لَا تَعْتَدُوهَا. Don't transgress the limits of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Transgressing, you go out from the limits, it's something else. Don't go near them. Keep at a safe distance. If you are very near to it, then it's just possible that you can just cross it. Maybe unknowingly you have crossed the limit, because you are very near to the final limit. So keep at a safe distance from the limits that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has laid down. Tilka hududullahi fala taqrabuha. These are the limitations laid by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So don't go near them. Keep yourself at a safe distance from them. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ آيَاتِهِ لِلنَّاسِ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. In this way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains His ayat. All His commandments are being explained. Everything which was doubtful about this ibadah, this mode of worship of home, now it has been cleared. All the things have been explained. كَذَلِكَ يُبَيِّنُ اللَّهُ آيَاتِهِ لِلنَّاسِ. In this manner Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes His commands, His ayat clear for the people. لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَّقُونَ. So that they can be saved. They don't transgress the law. They don't transgress the hudud of Allah, the limitations of Allah unknowingly. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made everything clear and plain. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. And don't eat up one another's property and wealth bil-batil, through false methods, illegal methods, unlawful methods. They can be in many ways. Stealing, you have stolen some property of somebody else. It's illegal. If he gives you himself in gift, you can keep it, you can use it. If he has gifted it to you, if he has given you some present, you can take it, you can use it. But if you have stolen it, then it is haram for you, it is impermissible. It is not lawful for you to use it. In the same way, now a particular case is being given here. فَتُبْلُوا بِهَا إِلَى الْحُكَّامِ لَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَكُمْ بَيْنَكُمْ بِالْبَاطِلِ. Don't eat up one another's property and wealth through illegal means, through illegal methods. And don't present your property and your wealth to the rulers. لِتَأْكُلُوا فَرِيقًا مِنْ أَمْوَالِ النَّاسِ, with the intention that you eat up some part of the people's property bil-ism, with sin, unjustly, وَأَنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ, and you do it knowingly. This is the rishwa. This is what that you present to the people, bribery. You present your money to the judge or to the authority, someone who can do some favor to you. Whatever favor he is doing to you, if he is a government officer, it is at the cost of the interest of the government. And if there is some dispute, some case in the court of a judge, and you have pleased that judge through bribery, well, he will do you favor and he will do wrong to the other party. So you are eating the property and the wealth of the other party by giving your wealth to the judge, to the authority, to the person who is sitting in judgment on that matter. So don't do it. This is called bribery. And actually, the hadith, Ar-Rashi wal-Murtashi kilahuma fin-nar. Rashi means the person who gives bribe. Generally we think that Rashi is the person who is accepting bribe and who is eating bribe. On the contrary, in Arabic language, the Rashi is the person who is giving bribe. And Murtashi is the person who is accepting bribe.